What's up, party people? Welcome back to The Good, The Bad and The Stupid. It's Tuesday the 26th of November. It's a podcast, it's a video, it's lots of little videos. Find them. It's under the same name. Well, it's either under The Good, The Bad and The Stupid or GBS Clips. I thought it'd be clever. I'm tired of typing out The Good, The Bad and The Stupid all the time. So GBS Clips, these are for the smaller videos, which are little bite-sized pieces of this video or this podcast. So find them, share them, tell people how great I am. Doesn't matter that you're lying, doesn't matter, I don't mind. As I said, no news, bad news is good as good news. You just say, look how this really shit podcast guy, Brummy guy, he's got a funny accent though, and that'll come for some reason, one reason or another. What was going to say, with the election thing, oh yeah, the election, Jeremy Corbyn's on the TV tonight being grilled by the Andrew Neil, he's hardcore, he is. If you've seen, forget Jeremy Paxman, well, Jeremy Paxman's bad as well, but Andrew Neil's like fucking hardcore. He just like don't let you off the hook. He don't give you a chance to even answer the questions. He like drills you. He wants like he's like what's it called? Interrogation, big time. And Jeremy Corbyn's turn tonight. I think hopefully Boris Johnson gets one as well. Otherwise, it's a bit fucking shit. I think they should all have him even playing field. But yeah, he sort of like he leads you on and then sort of sets you up and then sort of it just tries to make you look stupid basically. And it's whether you can hold out under his watch, so to speak. But anyway. The Conservatives, well, hopefully they'll have to answer one of these questions by him. But when they went out, one of his candidates was out scouting, looking, knocking on doors and stuff, and he had the TV crews with him, and they recorded him taking a phone call, calling the house and going, right, I'm going to be coming up, knocking on the door, and he's one of his mates. I'm going to be knocking on the door. You just talk to me and we'll just banter and stuff about the Tory party and how much you love us and all that kind of stuff. And it was his mate, wasn't it, or his mate's dad or something or other. To be honest, his mate's dad didn't do him any favours anyway, because he come out saying about fucking giving people cat and nine tails and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know whether, I think he might have set him up or, weren't in on it or something or other. But anyway, the TV crew have outed him as like a charlatan and trying to bullshit Tories again. So it's in the newspaper today. So in one of the newspapers, not all of the newspapers, of course, only in the newspaper that might be a little bit. It's only a small story as well, a little bit not anti-Labour or whatever. But worse problems, there's people with worse problems, like in Toronto. In Toronto, they have there's a story about a guy. I've got to say, because it's just a funny story, but there's a guy going around Toronto, right, with buckets, and he's pouring buckets of diarrhea on people randomly in the street, and then running off, smiling. And they're calling him. He's like a smile. He's got a big CCTV footage of him, and he's got a big smile on his face, and he's bowling along. And they're saying, I think we've got a serial shit thrower, which you have, because he's doing it. He's done it many times. But what is possessing the guy to do something like that? I mean, it's a bucket of fucking diarrhea as well. I mean, not just like it's not one sitting. I'm sure it's like it's a fucking payload. Unless he's got like a farm animal, maybe they are doing my detective work. It's got to come from like an ill farm animal. Anybody got an ill farm animal anywhere near Toronto? Then that might be where he's getting his shit. Either that or he's like saving it up for a few days and then sort of going out. Regardless, it's random and totally fucking off the wall. And the guy's obviously got a screw loose. So have your wits about you if you're walking around Toronto, or you could have the shits about you very fucking soon. I mean, like dysentery and everything could come from that. I mean, I wouldn't be too happy. I'd like fucking at least take your umbrella with you and be on guard. A smiling black guy with a bucket and a blue bag. I've seen the picture. He's like he's happy as Larry. He loves what he's doing. Loves his work. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there on that particular story. Let's move on to something a little less disgusting. Snowflakes Theatre goers, well, they wouldn't like that story. Snowflakes are probably going to be complaining right now, ringing in points of view about this podcast, trying to get me taken down. Snowflakes of theatre goers are being warned about violence in 2 Shakespeare plays that are written more than 400 years after written 400 years ago. They're being warned to expect blood and gore during Richard III and Henry VI, is that? Henry VI. It's got the V, that's why I'm checking. The V and the 1, Roman numerals. The venue on the site of the Bard's original playhouse in London says the show contains brutal portrayals of war, violence and murder. Well, I mean, fucking hell. I don't actually know that. I mean, I don't know the stories. I mean, I don't know them plays by Shakespeare. So I don't know that they did myself, but I wouldn't need warning, that's for sure. I wouldn't need like, oh my God, I can't believe they didn't tell me. Saying that, as I've mentioned before in my podcast, I do have a friend who's extremely squeamish, and he's well up for knowing what blood's about to appear because he doesn't like to get caught off guard because he faints and stuff like that. So he ain't a fan. So yeah, I mean, you can take it or leave it on that. I mean, surely if something's gory and bloody, you tell people, it doesn't matter, does it? It's an 18, it's a film, you tell them it's an 18 and whatever, don't you? So, I guess, you know, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on that one. I mean, fucking hell, they can't be crying about that anyway, can they? If they wasn't told, you really would be shooting yourself in the snowflake foot if you started moaning about Shakespeare or complaining about Shakespeare. People just ain't going to listen to you. You're going to go, fuck you, now you're having a go at Shakespeare. When will it end? When will it end? The old jailhouse that was once held members of the real Peaky Blinders is being opened to the public for guided tours. Steel House Lane lockup, which began operating in 1891. I've actually, I've actually been locked up in Steel House Lane only for one night. It was a drunken misdemeanour. I've spoke about it before, but. Steelhouse Lane in Birmingham. It's on, but that was in the police station, I think. So this is the lockup. I don't know if it's the same place. But not only me. There's been worse people than me there. There's been what's his name? Fred West. He was in Steelhouse Lane, and many other people. It's like the main. It's the main police station in the town. I think where they would take people to and from the court and stuff as well. Yeah, so real Peaky Blinders used to be there, and they're opening it up to views for tours and whatever else to find out more about the characters and whatever else. And they've said we like to give people the facts about them. They are criminals at the end of the day. This is a policeman being a policeman. The policemen love the fucking Peaky Blinders programme. But policemen will be policemen. We like to give people the facts about them. They are criminals at the end of the day. Records have shown that have them down for offences like stealing, but we know that they moved into illegal practices involving horse racing and betting. And yeah, then he goes on to say the Peaky Blinders earned their nickname by sewing razor blades into the peaks of their caps so that they could blind rival gangsters by headbutting them. Nice guys. So yeah, they were right. I think that might be a bit played on as well. I don't know, but I think they're not sure about whether that is true, whether they did do that, the headbutting thing. But anyway, it's good anyway, and it sounds good. They were a gang at the end of the day, so probably did. Speaking of gangs, this gang are up another level. A gang of burglars have stolen an estimated £850 million worth of jewellery and diamonds in a heist at one of Germany's oldest museums. The thieves made off with 3 of the 10 18th century diamond sets kept in Dresden's Green Vaults. You know what? And it doesn't look like they've even broke a sweat. These are like fucking geezers that know what they're doing. They've come in, they've turned all the electricity off in the area and then snuck in under darkness. Apparently they were small because they've had to get through a window or get through something that was quite small. So there might be any jockeys not at the horse racing that, or you know, taking the day off, or a collective bunch of jockeys or whatever taking the day off, and they're or dwarfs midgets for hire. There could have been any of those kind of characters if they're short. 850 million quid, nearly £1 billion. That is. Obviously, they probably stole that to order, so somebody's just gonna, for the fun of it. A lot of these people do it, don't they? Otherwise, they've stole it to order, and somebody, because you can't sell that stuff, can you? You sell that, it's like a fucking hot potato. You touch it, all of a sudden you're in the nick, big time. So you know, whoever's got it, they'll be under lock and key. So it'll be a few years before that turns up, unless somebody gets caught quickly and starts doing the canary thing to save their skin. But nobody was hurt, and it was a good heist. So at the very least, it'll be a good film sometime in the future. Paul Hollywood. I said I'm not going to talk about Paul Hollywood, but is the gift that keeps on giving. So I'm going to have to sort of talk about it. Apparently, according to some of his squeezes, if he was an ice bun, he would lick himself. That's how much he thinks of himself. It's quite fucking. It's a bit hard to watch, and it's one of them cringe ones. I'll be behind the sofa if I was watching Paul Hollywood on a date with one of his young ladies. Be on the sofa, like, you know, like with a cushion or whatever. I can't look. Anyway, he's anyway. That's the view. He would lick himself. That's the view of women he has managed to woo since becoming the nation's notorious bed hopping baker. Really? Has he become the nation's notorious bed hopping baker? He's just been with one girl for about fucking 2 years, hasn't he? Anyhow, apparently he lies to them. He sends them a few tales to sort of to woo them, and apparently he said to his pals, "Why let the truth get in the way of a good bit of bullshit?" So there you go, ladies. Watch out if you're ever in the company of Paul Hollywood. He's going to try and throw whatever he tells you. It's bullshit. It's bullshit, and he's just trying to get you get you home and show you how to bake or whatever else he's got planned. Anyway, let's move on to a couple who scooped the £105 million on the lottery are set to be unveiled today. Is that their choice? They must be mental. Don't mention it. Don't do it. Don't fucking tell anybody. Why do you have to? It'll come out eventually anyway by somebody disgruntled family member that hasn't got any money. Will come out in the paper somewhere down the line. But I wouldn't bother telling anybody. I'd take my 105 million and I'd just say fucking anonymity, please. Anonymity. What is it? Anonymity. And don't tell anybody. We want to stay. What's he called? Incognito. Anonymous. Anonymity. I'm sure there's a word there. I'm going to have to look that one up. Anyway, they're going to enjoy it one way, but you're not going to enjoy it if every fucker and his dog knows about it. Your neighbours are all going to be fucking, oh, you know what? They're going to have, well, I was going to come out with some stories then, but they might have been a bit unheartfelt. But, you know, I suppose you have to pick and choose who you're going to fall for their stories, aren't you? Don't fall for anything by fucking Paul Hollywood, whatever you do. He's got enough money, and he seems he's got enough bullshit to tell people. Brits send 64 million pointless emails a day with "thank you" the most popular. Yeah, you do that, don't you? You never know when to cut the text off when you're texting back and forth. It's almost like, do I send another one to that, or can we just draw the line there? It's almost like some of them seem like they need another response, but "thank you," that's just the shittiest one, isn't it? I hate getting that because my phone goes off beep, or makes a noise every time the text goes. So when the text goes again, you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then you look and it's "thank you." It's like, it's a wind up if that happens enough times in the day. So just cut it off, cut it dead. Or like do like the Americans do. You know, like the Americans, they never even say, on the films, they never ever say goodbye, do they? I wonder if there's a reason for that, because whenever they're on the telephone in America, they never ever, they just put the phone down. They'll be talking about, yeah, I'm going to be there, probably be there around 8:30. Okay. That's what they do. They don't answer the fucking, I mean, they don't say goodbye at all. You check it out. You might have noticed it yourself, but I notice that all the time, and I've tuned into it now, and I was fucking looking for it, and I'm like, it didn't do it again. It didn't answer it didn't say goodbye. Fucking rude, or what? Or is there a thing in like films where it's an unwritten code or something that they don't do that? or some kind of theatrical superstition or something. I'm going to find out. I'm going to let you know if I remember. Okay, where are we going? 15 minutes. I'm going to try and keep these shorter. I waffle on too many times, don't I? So I'm going to keep try and get to the. Actually, I haven't. Today's been a slow news day anyway, so we're keeping it short by no choice of mine. Tom Cruise is getting too old for action films, according to Jack Reacher author Lee Child. The 57-year-old actor played two. He's not too old. Well, as long as he's fit and he's fucking keen, he's not too old. He's not like 57's not old, is it? 57 is like, you know, no age really. So as long as he's still got a spring in his step, you know, the only problem with him is his fucking Scientology. You know, he's like, one day he's gonna wake up and he's gonna go, you know what? Why did I believe that for 40 fucking years? You know, I've lived and breathed that religion, and I've just realised it's a load of bollocks. Like that guy who was teaching gay or had courses on how to stop gay people being gay, and he did it up in the mountains and whatever else, and people were going along to it. And eventually, after about 40 years or a long time doing it, he's come out as gay and said it's like abominable what he was doing, and he's changed his mind altogether. So all the gay people are like, "You're fucking joking! You stopped me being gay 40 years ago." And secretly, I have been gay, but I've been embarrassed about it, so I've not fucking told anybody. And now you come out and say you're gay. I think the fucking the handbags will be out for him if that's the case. But anyway, Tom Cruise is like he's not too old. He does some shit films lately. Then he's done some really good films, but he's picking some right crap on. Nicolas Cage is doing a film. This is tongue in cheek because at least he's addressing the fact. Nicolas Cage is doing a film about a sort of I think I'm thinking like I know it now, but I think I've just forgot. Nicolas Cage is doing a film about an imaginary Nicolas Cage talking to Nicolas Cage about why he keeps doing loads of shit films. That's the film. So that's going to be like quite fucking surreal, isn't it? So, but it's good because he actually knows that he does loads of shit films. He's done some good ones. Not very many though. He's done too many shit ones to outweigh the good ones. Well, Raised in Arizona, that's a fucking brilliant film. What's the other one? David Lynch film. Can't think of it. David Lynch film where he gets his nose broke at the end, but he head-butted and his nose is all bent out of shape. Oh, what's that called? Can't remember. You'll find it. And Leaving Las Vegas, that weren't bad. Yeah, he's done a few. But then he's done Con Air, and that's just like fucking terrible. That's like the far end of the shit scale. A customer, this is a good idea. A farmer is calling on McDonald's to print customers' car registrations on its drive-through takeaway bags to deter people from littering them into the countryside with them. That's a good idea, isn't it? When the car drives off, or when you give them a takeaway or whatever, put the car registration stamp on it. Although it's not all people in cars that are chucking their rubbish, is it? But if you put the car registration number on the bag, then when you chuck it away, you know who's done it. Therefore, you got the litter bug. Great idea. I endorse that idea. I think that's good. But obviously, what about all the twats that go in and fucking, all the young kids? Not just young kids. I'm not being ageist. Who go in and spend their lives in McDonald's buying tons of stuff, and then they go and chuck it out in the bushes and whatever. It's usually young kids, to be fair, because they ain't got no fucking idea about, or they don't care about the streets at that age. And they grow up. It's like, around my council estate, fucking now the walkways were just full of chip paper. They probably still are, but like it was just people would just go to the chip shop. Everybody lived at the chip shop. It was like, it was like the chip shop was your second home for most people, mine especially. But people just order the chips and then just roll up the paper, big load of paper, and just chuck it on the floor, or chuck it in the bush. It was everywhere. Fucking nightmare. But as you grow up, you get a bit more respect, don't you? And realise because you're having to fucking pick it out of your garden. Okay, I'm gonna finish up on Couple of few more. Blair, Tony Blair, should have said this one earlier. Tony Blair was blasted both Boris Johnson and Jeremy Corbyn for pushing extremism to the run-up to the election. So Tony Blair still thinks he's got something to say when he should really just go and get himself put in prison, because that's where he should be after the Iraq War. So many people think he's never been properly dealt with over that, has he? But he just keeps popping up and trying to fucking get elbow his opinions into the what's going on in the current elections. Nobody gives a shit what he thinks. That's what he doesn't realise. So, funnily enough, I don't think, apart from his little Blairites, little clan, he's talking about people culting around Jeremy Corbyn. What about all the fucking Blairites? Blairites, 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 Blairites. You know, they're all his fucking fans, aren't they? So, you know, you got a leader. Everybody has to sort of follow the suit. So, it's a deal. It's not a cult, is it? Just 1 in 20 Black Friday deals is a true bargain, a watchdog says, and tracked 83 items. 6. Told you. Bullshit. Black Friday's bullshit. You're being fucking had over. Anything you see at Black Friday, just go and check online. You'll find it cheaper. I bet. Or, if you don't get it on that day in that shop, there's more of them. There's plenty more of them. You don't need to get that one on that day, that moment, and get yourself punched in the face for it. It's just not worth it. Last one I'm going to do. Oh, bollocks. I'm going to do 2 more then. Eric Bristow downed 17 pints of Guinness every day until his death last year. 17 fucking pints of Guinness, man. That is like hardcore. And his best mate Bobby George used to say to him, he can't live like... He used to have 17 pints of Guinness and then go for a curry. And he died at 60 though, which is a shame. But his best mate Bobby George said he should watch what he's doing. He can't carry on like that. And he said, nobody's going to push me around in a wheelchair. So he kind of, you know, although you don't know at the time, do you? But he obviously thought he had more in him. But it's a shame that he's gone. He was a character. But he lost, he was gone at 60, and 17 pints of Guinness a day isn't going to be good for you, is it? Sounds like fun though. I mean, you should just play darts. I think that was the days of the darts where you fucking, you know. Now in sports, you can't be drinking like. But they used to just drink lager and then play darts and all. In the pub, it's like standard, isn't it? Goes 1 or 2. Nothing better than that Smith and Jones sketch where he goes up to the hockey and then goes to pretend to throw, but really just grabs a drink and has a neck of a drink and puts it back down. That's the classic dart sketch. All right, last one. Rod Stewart's bedtime attire. Rod Stewart leaves a lot to be desired. His bedtime attire leaves a lot to be desired. The legendary Lothario has revealed he wears socks and a vest to bed these days, and he keeps warm under the covers by switching on an electric blanket. Fucking hell, Rod. If you do them kind of things, don't tell anybody, for God's sake. That's just like harpooned your fucking, you know, the mystique around, like, well, if there was any. I mean, to be honest, he does it all the time, but he plays with train sets and everything, so, you know, any kind of, like, sexual sort of aura around you has just been shot through the fucking arse with a harpoon, I think, with that. He said he just feels the cold too much these days. He lives in fucking Florida. He's talking about being in Florida. You don't need an electric blanket in Florida. All you need is Speedos and a fucking pina colada. I know he's 74, but you don't look it, don't act it. That's what I'm saying. If you can't just go and now rock up onto the stage and that. Everybody's all going to be going, yeah, we're the same. All the young guns ain't going to come. It's just going to be all the old farts who like, yeah, we're into train sets. We got electric blankets. We're here for you, Rod. We're your biggest fans. We're even more your fans now because you do the same as us. No, if you're a rock star, stay rock star. Don't fucking do that kind of shit. You should be getting drunk and dying or something. Do what Eric Bristow did. He's not a rock star. He's a darts player and he's just fucking... He's more of a rock star than Rod Stewart. Come on. He's gone out at 60, but he had a good life and he enjoyed it. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. See you again tomorrow. Bye.